Aloha, this is Brother Rafael from beautiful Hawaii. Today we are covering a very pivotal, very important, very interesting chapter in the Bible. It's Genesis 11. And today we'll cover from verses 1 to 9 the story of the Tower of Babel. The story of the Tower of Babel begins with a fellow named Nimrod. Now, Nimrod was the great grandson of Noah. And in this story, we hear that Nimrod is called a mighty man, a mighty hunter before the Lord. So we know that he is a person, when the Bible uses mighty man, it's usually for a person that has been engaged in battle, that a person who is very good at defending themselves and so forth. But in addition, he's also considered a mighty hunter. Now, just to give you a little background even more regarding his frame of mind and so forth, he is also the one, Nimrod is also the one who founded the city of Nineveh, the one that we hear from in the story of Jonah. So we know, if you were to think about how Nineveh was, we can see in the foundation the type of personality how Nimrod is. Now, a little even more background information is that God, after Noah came out of the ark, God told them to be fruitful, multiply, and to spread all over the world. Now, what Nimrod tried to do, Nimrod tried to disobey God by settling in what is called now modern Iraq. He wanted to settle there and build a monument to himself. He says that they wanted to build a tower that will reach to the skies, a city that will put them on the map like we call nowadays. The thing about it, about that rebellion and act of disobedience, remember God said, go all over the world, and he wanted to settle. The thing about the act of disobedience is that it would have been harder to create a city than it is to go ahead and spread all over the world. It will be as if a child defies a parent by eating something they don't like. The child don't like this and they eat it just to defy the parent. It's extreme rebellion. And why do I say it's easier to go around the world than it is to build a city? Because they describe what they had to do to build a city. They have to make bricks. Every time you make a city, every time you build a great monument to yourself, you need to do it on the backs of somebody else. The Egyptians, they did it on the backs of the Hebrew slaves. Solomon, he made his monuments on the back of the Israelite through taxation. And now Nimrod is having to make bricks. And I guarantee you, it's not Nimrod who is making the bricks. It is not his family who is making the bricks. It is people that he has either forced through promise, through whatever, and he is making them build the bricks. It is not an easy job to build bricks. This is not as making a sandwich. So what can we teach our children regarding this rebellion, regarding the plans that God has for them? Well, we can teach our children that in any situation, God will use Satan's actions, humans' actions, that the things of the world, God will use it for his plan, to accomplish his plans. That the best that Satan can do is to help fulfill God's plans. And yesterday we talked about trusting in God. And we can trust a God who knows the future. We can trust a God who knows what is going to happen. In this time of instability, we can trust a God who brings stability. In this time of uncertainty, we can trust a God who is certain. Remember, when Nimrod decided to disobey and started building the tower, they came in as a group, as a one single united group to do that. God took that single united group, changed their languages. The Bible don't say into how many, I will assume is at least 50. Changed their languages into, as an example, let's use the number 50, into 50 different groups and sent them all over the world. From one group, now we have 50 different groups. 50 different groups that are gonna move even farther from each other because of their languages differences. My friends, God will use the works of the enemy. Not that God approves of it, not that God makes the enemy do it, but God will use the works of the enemy for him to accomplish his plans in this world. And that is why we can trust him. And for parents, nowadays, we want to make sure, this is a little aside from the lesson, that whenever Satan is attacking your children through what is called bullying, that is the perfect time for us to come and defend our children and prepare our children and protect our children so that they see that while we also trust in God, we take action when it's needed. Remember the lesson today, parents. God is in control. That the best, the absolute best that Satan can do is to fulfill God's plans. That is the absolute best that Satan can do, to help fulfill God's plans. So we have a God that we can trust. We have a God that we can depend on. We have a God that is certain when this world of uncertainty feels like it's drowning us. In Christ's love, this is Brother Raphael. May the Lord bless you. Thank you.